Hello, this is SiteMind. Welcome to a new video. In this one, we'll be going over how to use mode toggles on D&D Beyond. Toggle mode is something you can quickly enable to apply temporary effects, stat changes, states, conditions, transformations, etc., and then easily disable them all without leaving the character sheet. Some examples include the Blade Singer's Blade Song, the Barbarian's Rage, and the ASMR's Celestial Revelation. So this is a character, this is my sorcerer. Sorcerers get a feature called innate sorcery. This is one of those toggle modes. So in this case, you can see under your features, scroll down to the feature and you'll see it here. Click it in your sheet and it'll come up with this. In this case, it's going to change our spell save DC, gives it advantage on attack rolls. So just to check it will work, here's a spell save DC here. So go to our features, click on the feature itself, then you'll see it has options. Activate innate sorcery, and if we click, the changes should now have an effect. If we go to spells, we can see it's been increased by 1, as the feature says. Then we want to turn it off. We can just go back to our features, click it again, click option and go back to choose, and then that will disable the toggle. So how do we do our own version to this? So we can do this ourselves. You can do it either as a species, a trait, or as a subclass feature. You can't do it through anything else, it's only those two. I'll be doing an example of a subclass feature. But in this case, there is a guide on D&D Beyond. I'll put a link in the description. So this is a Homebrew's howto pack that was created by my friend Sposter. So you go down to the FAQ and go down to Homebrew subclasses and species. Click spoiler and then click number 2 here. This is a little bit of a guide that's created by the user Corvaxel1, which says it here. You can pause the screen to go through this, but I am going to show you how to do it. So here is my character. It says ASMR Fighter 2. I'm going to create a subclass for the fighter that will show you how to make your own toggle. So first we go to playing D&D. Go to my Homebrew creations. I'm going to create a new tab. Create a subclass. Create a new subclass for. Right, this is my example. So obviously you would choose this species instead of thing or a different subclass, whatever it is you want to do it for. Create from scratch. Okay. So in this case, I'm going to firefighter. Do this one. I cannot be bothered to write out a full description. I don't care. Because it doesn't matter, this is just an example. Don't need any of that, so create a subclass. Okay. So in my case, so you go to add subclass feature. So I'm going to just call mine fire mode. So as it says here, you're basically creating 2 different features of the same level with the exact same name. That is important. One of the features has only a description and nothing else, and will be designated to hide in sheet. The other includes the relevant snippet, the option, which will then include all the features you want it to have, and that'll be selected to be hide in builder. It does say that unfortunately both the features will display on the details page for the subclass. That is only going to be relevant if you are publishing this to the public listings. But even then, it's not going to be much of a concern. If so, if it's a duplicate, no one cares. As long as it functions, who cares? But otherwise, yeah, it's going to work. Where are we? Here. So in this case, we'll leave the snippet blank. Just to remind myself, yes, first one is just description. I've already pre-written my description here. This is what I'm going to be doing with this my little test. I'll be adding a +2 to AC. This is an easy way to see it, doing a modifier. Then there's add firebolt cantrip. This is so you can show adding spells, and I'll be adding a custom action to roll an extra 1d4 fire damage. This is so you have an example of how to add an action as well. Because this is something other things can't do. This allows you to do pretty much everything you want to do. This is my description. I'll be copy and pasting this a lot. So this is my description. You still need to have things like required class level. In our case, it'll be 3rd. Display order. I'll say that. Granted. And then, as we said before, hide in sheet. And then class features. We don't actually have any class features for this, so we're just going to go immediately to cancel. We then go to add a class feature. We're going to name it the same, fire mode. This time we're going to use the snippet. It won't accept a blank description, but you can just put in a dot or something. Bypass that. Required class level, again, would be 3. Display order, I'm going to put this 2. It will be recommended to put this as 1 higher than your previous one, because it's going to still show in the details page. It'll just show the title. It'll just make it a little bit better. We are going to select has options, and then we're going to select the class levels. In this case, this is class level 3, so I put it just a single 3 there. Class level added. I'm actually going to uncheck that because I think it'll look better. In this case, we put in hide in builder, and then we create class feature. Then we are going to go down. In this case, we want this to be something that they activate as an action. So we want to put an action in here. General name activate fire mode. This is so you can have a limited amount of uses. So no fixed features. Won't be doing any of that. Range doesn't matter. Activation type will say bonus action. Yeah, short rest. And we're just going to paste that stuff here. I can't be bothered. Obviously, you need to up to your preference, but I'm just being lazy for the sake of example. Once we've added that, we can then go down to limited use and add in our 1. So now it can be used once per short rest. This is so that we have the checkbox on the sheet so that they can mark it off that they've used it. Save again. We're then going to go to class feature options. So here we're going to put in enable fire mode. Put in our thing details. We can leave all that. Don't need to bother with class level because it's already built into the feature. Great option. Waiting for it to load. There we go. So here is where we would add whatever changes you want to do. So we're going to be an example of modifier, spell, and action. So for our modifier, I'm just going to do the bonus to AC because it's nice and easy. Fixed value 2. spells, we're going to add the firebolt cantrip. So, firebolt cantrip. Scale of charisma. None of those matter, so we can just leave it save. And then for the action, which is just so that we can roll the extra 1d4 fire damage. Let's put in the action. We'll do this. We're gonna put it as a spell. Just make sure. Extra fire damage. Here's it 1 d4. Right. Now I'm gonna put this as an action. This is just so that nothing. This is just so that it displays easily. Oh, that reminds me. Where is it? Where is it? Display as attack. Yes. This is how it's going to display in the actions part of the sheet. You'll see. Again, if you were doing this, you'd make sure these snippets and descriptions are a bit more accurate to what you're doing. I can't be bothered to do any of that because this is just an example. We don't need to do any level overrides or anything, so we're just going to save. So now that we've got those features, we can just save again. And that's everything that we're doing. Now we can cancel after saving. Then we save here. And then we cancel. And then we finally save again on this page. And you're probably hearing my laptop whirring like a beast because I have a very, very old laptop. Okay, so next thing we should do is to select this subclass to make sure it works. So let's go to home, make sure Homebrew is turned on. Then under class, we'll add our little level. Choose fighter subclass, firefighter. So yeah, this is where the shop description would display. This is where we would see the details. And that should be it. So I'm going to show you I'm going to show an example of it copying. Private subclass. So for example, see how it's duplicating it. But this is why I just put in a dot, because then it won't show much here. But it's going to look fine. So, does it work? That's an important thing. Very, very important. So we'll go into our features. Just note we don't have any spells aside from light because we're ASMR. And no extra actions here. So we go to our features. It should be somewhere here. Yeah, so we've got our little check mark to make sure whether it's used once per short rest. And if we click on the snippet thing here, see you've got our action here. Enable fire mode. So we should have our spells. There we go. Yep, it's scaling up our charisma, nice and thing. Then under actions, we should have the extra fire damage. Right. It's showing as the +3. I think I should have done something to modify that. May have made a mistake there. That's me. But you get the idea. You can add actions. You can add modifiers. You can see us put our AC has gone up there. And then once we're done, we can just go into our features again. It does have to be under the features and traits, not under actions. Thing. Click here. No, click the snippet itself. Go back to choose, and then it's all gone back to normal. And that's it. That's how you make your own custom mode. I hope this helps. It is a bit complicated, and it gets a bit funky, but they're very useful. You can do this for a lot of spell effects, transformations, wild shapes, all sorts of things that you can then just add on. Have fun with it, experiment. If you need any help, let me know in the comments and I'll see if I can help you. Thank you.